So what does it mean to stay woke? We stay woke not by stocking up on canned goods, hoarding paper goods, or building bunkers. We stay woke by walking in faith and love. We stay woke not by becoming well-versed in the latest conspiracy theories, but by trusting in the hope of our salvation in Jesus Christ. We should take care that our hearts and minds are right with the Lord. We should be purveyors of good and not supporters of evil, lest we become like the people that Paul warns us of, who fails to discern the times and are asleep when we should be awake. We stay woke not by burying what God has given us, like the servant in today's gospel reading. We stay woke by being good stewards of what we've been given and multiplying it. The servant in the parable of the talents, who was given 1 talent to steward until his master's return, allowed fear to rob him of the opportunity to enter into the joy of his master. He chose to hoard what was intended to be freely invested. The servant in the parable did exactly what Paul warned the Thessalonians against. He was unprepared and was taken by surprise when the master returned because he didn't discern the times. But I can't help but wonder where the other 2 servants were when he decided to bury his single talent. Did they watch him dig the hole while they were on their way to invest their money? Did they warn him that the master might not be happy with him burying his talent? Or were they so preoccupied with their own investments that they didn't think to check in on their fellow servant? We don't know the exact circumstances, but I can't help but think that this story might have ended differently for the 3rd servant if he had been given support by his fellow servants and others in his community. Paul understood the value of a strong faith community, which is why he exhorted the Thessalonians to encourage and build one another up as they waited for the day of the Lord. We stay woke by remaining connected to one another and to other believers. This is especially important in these difficult times when the pandemic, when politics, when cultural unrest are pulling our communities apart. It would be all too easy for us to completely isolate ourselves from one another. It would be all too easy for any one of us to think that we have discerned the Master's desires for ourselves and then be caught by surprise when we're operating outside of His will. As we engage in the spiritual discipline of discernment, it is important that we stay close to one another and that we encourage and build one another up in faith, hope, and love. Stay woke. Amen.